Welcome to the Daily Dad Podcast, where we provide one lesson every day to help you with your most important job, being a dad. These are lessons inspired by ancient philosophy, by practical wisdom, and insights from dads all over the world. Thank you for listening, and we hope this helps. Teach them to see the big picture. Most of us are old enough to remember coming down to find our father at the breakfast table reading the newspaper. It was simply part of the routine, as it had been for generations of the informed citizen. You just read the news. Maybe you also remember them listening to talk radio in the car or tuning in to the nightly news on TV. While this was certainly admirable, the reality is that the news environment has changed. 24/7 news networks, the decline of objective coverage, the internet news machine, podcasts, and social media have flooded us with information. Most of it is inaccurate. All of it is sensational, which is why it is essential as a father today you adapt your habits and teach your own children differently. Because now being informed is not about having information. It's about having perspective. It's about being able to see the big picture, to understand history and context. Hugh Jackman recently spoke about his news habits in a way that ought to inspire other dads. Right now, he said, I'm trying not to get caught up in the breaking news mentality. So I listen to NPR News 5-minute segments, and I like the New York Times Daily podcast, although I'm even trying to back off from that for a bit. I'm trying to get a wider view of life and what's happening, because once you get down, all these things seem really, really important. The other way I'm getting my news, and I highly recommend this, is me and my son are going through the whole Ken Burns catalog. We finished the whole Civil War thing, and now we're about to finish the Vietnam thing, he said. Now that's the way you should understand events in humanity, that sort of 30,000-foot view that he has, and with so much detail. This is fantastic. We should be tackling similar projects with our kids. If they're young, get them through the Great Illustrated Classics series, or as we've talked about, all of Aesop's fables. If they like theater, take them to Shakespeare's plays. If they like movies and documentaries, Ken Burns is perfect. Commit to visiting every national park in your state together, or every major battlefield. Listen to the Hardcore History or the History of Ancient Rome podcasts on trips in the car. Your job as a dad is to get them to understand events in humanity from that 30,000-foot view. It's not to memorize trivia or fill your house with anxiety or fear from every breaking news report. Teach them to see the big picture. Help them gain perspective and wisdom. Do it as a family. Hey, thanks for listening to the Daily Dad Podcast. You can get this via email every day as well at dailydad.com. Please leave us a review in iTunes. And most importantly, if you know any dads or parents who would benefit from these messages, please spread the word. Thanks.